Today I want to show you how we used an AI voice agent to replace an entire scheduling team. No sick days, no missed calls, and no one asking for Friday off. Just an AI agent that's able to schedule appointments on autopilot and use geolocation to actually stack appointments close together and minimize drive time. Now the sad part about all of this is that almost nobody knows about it, except for my client who we custom built this entire solution for that I'm about to show you in this video. First, you're going to see a live demo of what the system sounds like. Second, I'm going to give you a cost breakdown. And lastly, for all of the nerds, I'm going to show you how this is set up in the back end and how you could build this for your company. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. My name's Liam. I've helped businesses all over the world save tens and tens of thousands a year using AI. If you would like to do the same for your business, there is a link down below. You can click that to book a free AI consultation call. As always, there are only 3 spots available for this video, so I hope to see you in there, and now let's dive into the live demo. So here we are in Retail AI. Retail AI is the AI software that we use to build this AI, along with Make.com, and as you can see, there are some pretty big scenarios in here, which I'm going to walk you through in the second half of the video. But for now, all I want to say is that we can use these 2 softwares to put the AI onto your phone and connect it to any existing software that you already use. So now the AI can take actions in, for example, Monday.com. So what I'm going to show you now is a live demo, and you're going to see the AI do a few things. It'll know about my order, for example. It's going to be able to help me schedule an appointment. It's able to judge and update the duration of the appointment depending on how complex the job is going to be. And then it's also going to look through calendars here, reference existing appointments, and try to book my appointment close to appointments that are actually close in proximity so that the technician doesn't spend a lot of time on the road. But instead of me describing it, let me just quickly show you what it would sound like.
Hey Liam, I recognize you by your phone number. We're ready to schedule your repair trip. Would you like to set up an appointment?
Yeah, that'd be great. Could you just remind me, how many shutters and blinds are you going to install today?
Of course. For your order, we have a total of 5 items, 2 blinds and shades, and 3 shutters scheduled for installation. Is there anything else you'd like to know about your order before we book your appointment?
No, that's good. We can go ahead. Thank you.
Great. Before we schedule, do you have any old blinds or shutters that need to be taken down? If so, could you please let me know how many? This helps us plan the
Yeah,
right
I think
amount of
we
time
have
for
like
your
one in the
appointment.
bathroom and one in the kitchen that you'd have to take down.
Thank you for letting me know. So, just to confirm, you have 2 old blinds that need to be taken down, one in the bathroom and
Yeah,
one in
exactly.
the kitchen. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just quickly recalculating the
So it's
duration. of your
recalculating now, and as you can
One
see,
sec,
the
please.
appointment duration
All
updated
right,
to
I'm going
30
to
minutes
check
now.
for availability now across all calendars. This could take about 20 seconds. Is that okay?
Yeah, take your time. That's fine.
All right, I'm just checking for available appointments. Could take about 10 to 20 seconds.
Okay, so I've just put him on mute. As I quickly tried to explain before, it realized that, wow, okay, we're going to have to take down 2 more blinds, which means more work. So it updated the appointment duration from 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Next, what it's doing now over here is it's actually going through the scenario. It had a look at how many technicians can even handle this kind of job. And it's looking through all of their calendars now. And in this code, it's actually looking to place it close to existing appointments. So we'll get a response in just a second.
No problem. Take your time. Just let me know when you're ready, and I'll check the available appointment slots for you.
Yeah, that's good. I'm ready.
Perfect. Here's the first available slot, August 29th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Does that work for you?
Could we do a little bit later, possibly?
Absolutely. The next available slot on August 29th, 2025 is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Would that time work better for you?
Yeah, that works better. That's fine. Yeah.
Great. Just to confirm, you'd like to schedule your repair trip for August 29th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Is that correct? Should I go ahead and finalize this appointment
Yeah,
for you?
yes, please. That works for me.
All right, I'm now finalizing the appointment. Your appointment is all set for August 29th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You should also receive a confirmation text shortly. If you have any other questions or need to make changes, just let me know.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. All right, so how cool is that? So a lot of things happened. I'll walk you through it step by step in just a moment. But as you can see now, it was able to search the calendars here, and we have more than one, by the way. And it realized that, okay, we already have existing appointments booked here. And then what it did is it realized, I can't show you my address, but this appointment, which had my address, was close to this appointment. So let's try and book them together. And an added complication is, of course, that we have to only add the real duration, which is in this case 30 minutes, into this calendar. But we want to tell the customers that we're coming in a time slot, right? We're not going to tell them we're coming exactly at 11 a.m. We'll tell them between 10 and 2, for example. So I'll show you how we got the AI to do that in a moment while still booking and not overbooking a time slot. Okay, so I think what will be interesting for you to know next is, what is the investment? What does that look like for an AI like this? Well, it's pretty simple. I've actually built an ROI calculation tool this morning using AI, by the way. And there's a couple things to take in mind. So an AI is based on the usage, which is great. So if it makes one appointment, you only pay for one appointment. Now, this usage cost depends on the software that we're using and also how good the prompt is. So if you're working with someone who built this massive prompt and it's not optimized, it's going to cost a lot more. Usually what I work with is around 10 to 13 cents. As you can see, this one's only 11.5 cents. And in the calculator here that we have, we always work with 12 cents per minute. Now, next we have a look at how much could a human handle. Usually, if we're generous, they can handle 80 calls per day, which also includes, writing the emails. It includes updating the calendars. It includes updating all the information here in Monday, saying that, it's been scheduled, updating all of these little sliders. So there's a bunch of work to do after every appointment that we haven't even accounted for. Right? So it's just the call time. And then you can input your annual cost per employee, by the way, and the average call duration. These two are pretty standard. So now we're going to enter the call volume. Let's say you get, let's say you get around maybe 100 calls per day, which is not uncommon for a lot of companies. And then we can click calculate down here. Now, as you can see over here, this is actually what you would make with an AI like this. So there's a few different levels to this. Without AI, you're paying probably 2 receptionists, 2 people full-time to handle all of your 100 calls. And this includes a bit of admin stuff in the background which the AI also takes care of. Now, as you can see, there is a massive gap between the 6,600 that you'd pay these employees on average and only the 1,000 that you would pay an AI. As you can see, it is more than 6 times cheaper. So the gap is actually $5,000 that you're saving every single month. Now, what does the 16,000 up here mean? This varies based on project complexity, right? This calculator isn't perfect. Once again, if you'd like to find out exactly what this was cost for you, just book a free AI consultation call using the first link. But say, for example, if this company charged you $16,000 to set this up, you would already be making profit in the second month here after launch, right? So in the first 2 months, the savings of the AI would basically, already cover the setup cost. So after the 4th month, right? So you're a quarter of the way in, you've already saved $13,000. And this stacks up like crazy over time. And by the end of the year, if you only use this for 12 months, you save close to $60,000, right? Just in human labor. This is just human labor. We haven't even accounted for the fact that, yes, this works in many different languages. Yes, it works 24/7. No, it has no wait time. This thing can handle, by default, 20 calls at once. There is no more wait time. It is gone. And I know with contractors especially, if you miss after-hours call, that could mean that you miss a job, which is, quite a lot of money. It can go up to $3,000 per job. So you wouldn't want to miss those. And having an AI which takes care of this not only saves you a bunch of money, but it also improves customer satisfaction, and you actually get more bookings because there's someone available 24/7. That's pretty cool, right? And suddenly saving $60,000 on a $16,000 investment. I mean, I love this stuff. This is amazing. So yeah, if you'd like to find out exactly what this would cost for your company, just use the link and book a call. And now for all of you tech geeks and nerds and maybe business owners who want to find out how this actually works, I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So starting over here in Retail AI, I'm going to start with the prompt. So Retail AI is basically the AI which makes the decisions. It's allowed to say, I want to update the duration, I'm going to look through the calendars, and so on. We have a prompt which is divided into the usual prompt framework that I like to use, which is giving it a role, some context, specifics on how to handle scheduling, but then also customer info, which is great. And as you can see, it's in these little brackets, like for example, order info. Now, what the brackets means is that at the beginning of the call, we will inject into the prompt the information from this specific customer. So this automation here, what it does is when somebody calls, this little red thing over here catches the call. Then we use the phone number to search through monday.com by the phone number, and then we're able to actually get information about this customer. And then depending on their job status, so if it is, for example, if it's ready to schedule their job status, we have a welcome message which says, let's schedule the appointment. If it's not ready to schedule, for example, if it's already scheduled, it'll say, hey Liam, recognized you by your phone number. I can see you're already scheduled. Do you want to reschedule, or can I help you with something else? So that's just a little fun thing that we added. And now what we have is we've injected all this information, which we've just extracted from Monday based on the phone number, into the prompt. So now the AI has specific knowledge about this caller who's calling, and that knowledge gets deleted effectively after the call. Then we've told it basically how it's allowed to make bookings, when it's allowed to use which tools, and these tools in here I can't show you specifically, but I'm going to walk you through what they do. So there are a couple other ones in here, like sending text messages, transferring to a technician if something doesn't work, but the main ones which you also saw was update duration, which is if the AI hears that there's some extra blinds to take down, it can use this tool, which actually heads into make.com. And as you can see here, we have a filter. If the name of the tool is equals to update duration, this scenario here will basically go down this path. Based on the phone number, it will then go, okay, the number of items which gets sent through, this will be the AI telling this workflow that we have 2 new shutters to take down, times 5. So we know that each one of those takes 5 minutes to take down, and then it updates the duration back in monday.com. So instead of, a 20-minute appointment, it'll be 30 minutes. Once that's done, it will then ask, can I check for availability? And then it will use this tool over here, which is the check. You can see it here, check availability tool. And here we have, first of all, a bunch of filters, right? We check, does this customer exist? Is the job status even ready to schedule, right? If it's not ready to schedule, then we don't schedule. Then we get the deadline between which dates we need to search. We check, are they calling right on the deadline? Because if so, we're going to transfer them to a human, because a human can do this, can maybe push a few things around if it's urgent. Then if they've already passed the deadline, we're going to also transfer them to a human. And then we get, and all of this is just super technical, right? Basically, we set this up with Google Calendar. So we get API access keys from Google Calendar and so on. And then one interesting thing which I can show you is that we've set up for each technician calendar IDs. So I've blown out the actual technician names here. These calendar IDs are just demo calendar IDs. And based on which technicians are assigned to this job, the AI can then know which calendar IDs to search through in Google Calendar. So sometimes it does 1, sometimes it does 3, and then it can actually cross-reference that as well. So we need to store the information somewhere. Next, what happens is, it's just a bunch of reformatting and getting it into the right format for this custom code. Now, unfortunately, I cannot show you any of this because basically every second or third line are some API keys which you can't see. But what this code does is, this little module here, this only what's in here took probably 3 times as long as all of the rest of this. And it got so complicated that I started using paper to write this down. So I'm going to read you what it does. So it does slot finding, which is basically, we take the new appointment, we check where does it fit in the calendar. It checks all the available spots like this. Then it checks if it fits somewhere. Let's compare it to the appointment above and see if the drive time is less than 15 minutes. Next, that was basically the original idea. And then you suddenly have all the complications of what happens if there's a really long appointment. So we added that. What happens if there's no appointments available? We added that. Then we added a special feature that the first appointment can't be further away than half an hour or an hour. Then we have to actually add time zone formatting to this as well, so that it's time zone specific. What else did we do? Oh yeah, we added some features so that if basically a technician is sick, you can just write sick in here like this. I think you have to put it into the location, but if it sees sick, then it basically blocks the whole day so that when technicians calls, I'm going to make a new video about that, but when a technician calls, the AI can actually place this in here and block the days where they're sick. And then after that's done, it's going to retrieve all the possible scenarios here. It's going to rank them by drive time. So for example, the first one would be 5-minute drive time, which would be over here. This one would be 6 minutes, this one would be 10 minutes, and so on. And then it's going to offer the top 6 slots to the customer. But now we have an added complication because we can't tell the customer we're coming at 11 a.m., right? Technicians usually want to work in time slots. So we now have to find some way of basically telling the technician we're coming between 10 and 2, or 8 and 12, or 12 and 4:30, right? And what we did there is, this is basically the output of one of these calls. In here, this is the call ID which we put in there, which is important for actually retrieving this later when the customer chooses one. And then here we have all the available times. As you can see, this is more than 6, because sometimes we have a free day. And in the free day, of course, we won't just offer 1 slot, we can offer 3, so that we say, let's see, where is a free day? I think this one should have been a free day, the 10th over here. We basically offer the 3 time slots. And in here we save all different options like the calendar ID, the time window, the actual duration, the actual date and time, the date, but also to delete, because sometimes we need to, have slots that overlap. And if that's the case, we need to make sure we delete this drive time slot so that the code doesn't get confused. So we have to save which of these we also have to delete when booking the appointment. So let's say we tell the customer we have something available on the 29th of the 8th between 10 and 2, right? And then if the customer says, yes, that works, then we search this sheet based on the call ID. And that part is then in the booking flow down here. We search in the sheet based on the call ID. And then we work out they wanted to go between 10 and 2 on the 29th, which equates to an actual duration of 30 minutes in this calendar at this time. So now what we do is we book the actual duration and time at the exact time that it needs to be booked. Why do we do this? Because if you just had the time slots, right? If you just booked 10 to 2, 10 to 2, we'd have overlapping times. Plus, we would also have no idea of knowing if this is already overbooked. This way we know if there's one appointment which is 1 hour and one that's half an hour, we won't be overbooked for that time slot. So that's why we have to have kind of 2 things running at the same time. And then as soon as we've retrieved that, we book it in the calendar. This is basically for deleting events in case they overlap. And then we update all the columns in Monday, which is we assign it to the right technician. We inform, put in Monday that it's been scheduled. We update a bunch of things that usually you'd have to do manually. So that is basically the whole scheduling process. And it has been a monster, but it has really pushed the boundaries of what is possible with AI. Because, after this, I genuinely know, also for me as a win, like I can build anything, which is pretty cool. So, very, very, very technical. I hope you were able to follow along. Once again, I'm sorry that I couldn't show you every little detail, but I do want to protect my client's data. And this has been a great project. Really, really cool. So I hope you were able to learn something new, even if it isn't the specific tech, just you were able to learn and see what's possible with AI. And once again, if you would like to work with me, there are links down below to book a free AI consultation call. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you in the next video.